Hey there. So today I thought I would share with you how to basically use Firebase Storage to store medias or images. So here I've got a simple UI design where you can type a title for a thumbnail. So say chat GPT. If I click this YouTube icon here, it opens a pop-up. If I click one of the images and press open, it gives me a preview of that image. And if I click upload, it uploads to Firebase. So then it comes up here. Now if I go back to Firebase and refresh this, it should be here. Yeah, it has come, ChatGPT. If I click here, it's here. So today I'll be showing you how to implement Firebase storage with React. Hope you guys enjoy. To a site, you just go to your browser and type create next app with Tailwind. The second link here, if you go here, you'll need to copy out this line. So I'll go to my desired location, which is dev, yeah, here, and I copy out this line, paste it here, and I rename my folder to upload Firebase YT. Okay, now it's creating. So in the meanwhile, go to your Firebase here, Firebase console, click on add a project. You give a name, so Firebase YT, click continue. We don't need Google Analytics for this project. Create project. Wait for it to complete. This is taking, okay, it's done. It's taking some time. Okay, this part is done. Continue. Here you'll go to the newly created directory, which is upload Firebase YT. Oops, YT, and I'll open my VS Code. Okay. Once I open my VS Code, just to check whether everything is running properly, go to my terminal and click npm run dev. Type. I'll go to this site. Okay, everything works properly. Now let's remove the unwanted things. So we don't need this one till here. Okay, I messed up. I don't want that. I'm sorry. Okay, that's good. And just to check whether everything's working, the Tailwind is working properly. Class name. I always do this just to see whether everything's working. Okay, it works properly. Okay, we don't need this line. So I guess people who know how to install Firebase don't have to. You can skip this part and move forward. I'll be showing you how to install Firebase in next app. So once you've created your project, click this web. From here you click the name Firebase YT. For this, in this case we don't need hosting. Register app. You go to your terminal back here. You'll have to install a line, which is this one, npm install Firebase. Click, paste. So this will go in a new file called Firebase. I'll call this file as Firebase TS. This is the configuration for our application. Click this, paste this here. We'll be needing two things, which is we'll be needing get Firestore, I think it's called, store from Firebase / Firestore. Yep. And we'll also be needing storage. It is called get storage from Firebase Storage. Where did I go wrong? Import from, okay, this is should be curly braces. Okay, that's good. We'll have to declare those as well. db is equal to get Firestore. Also at storage, get storage. We'll have to export this then. App db and storage. So when you're using Next.js, you'll need a couple of more configuration. So just first I'll take out get apps and get app from Firebase. So basically, because it is server-side renders, we don't want it to initialize the application again and again. So we just type in this line of code, which is get apps dot length if this is false, if there is no application, then we initialize the app, or else we use the app which is already there. So this is needed for Next.js as it is server-side rendering. So next, what you'll do is you'll go to the console. You'll then initialize Firestore. Okay, create database. So this is basically where we'll be pulling the data from. That is why we are creating a Firestore. So for now, let's start in test mode. Create with default United States, fine. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, so it's created for us. Next we'll be needing the storage. So build, go to build storage and create storage. Get started. Start in test mode. So if you are building application, you would just go here, start in production mode, and give your rules here. You'll just type in the rule. So since this is just for the YouTube, I'll be building it for test mode. With default, fine. Couldn't even change that. Okay, so we are create this. This is where our images will be going once we upload, and the images from here will be updating to our Firestore, and then we'll be pulling it to our pages here. This will be clearer as we move forward. So that's also done. So the next thing is, let me go here, just show this. Okay, we don't need this, so we don't need this line. So we'll be having a upload pop-up. So I like commenting things out because it gives me a rough understanding of what to do, and we'll need the thumbnails also. So let's first create the UI for uploading the images. So we'll create a new folder called components. Inside the components, we'll have a upload.tsx. Upload images would be better. tsx file. Just click RAFC. So this is an extension which I have. If you go to extensions here, just click on this. This is the extension which allows me to do that. ES7 React Redux. I highly recommend this because it reduces the amount of code you'll have to write. So this will be one component, and the other component will be we'll pull in the component first. Up, did I say that? Okay. Upload image. Okay, it's come up here. So let's start building the UI for the input fields. So before starting, you need to download a package called React Icons. This is basically for the YouTube icon which you saw earlier. So if you go to their site and type YouTube, you'll get a bunch of these icons. Select any one of those. I'll select the first one. Import React icons and the folder. This is basically the initials. So if you're taking BS YouTube, you'll have to type BS here. As I've taken AI, I'll be mentioning AI here. So now let's start styling it. First I'll make a rough structure of how it will look like. So inside the div there will be a form. Don't need this. Inside the form there will be a h1 called upload thumbnail. In this there will be a div. Inside this there will be an input field, placeholder. Folder will be thumbnail title. Here we'll have the icon AI fill YouTube. The size 25 and or 50 maybe. Go with the higher one, 50. Last name text. I'll go back here and see what is happening. Text red 500. Oh. Okay, everything's come here. Fine. And outside this there will be a button called upload. Start styling it. Padding of 2, PG red 500, rounded borders. Okay, so let's center this now. Class name. If you guys want to see the implementation of Firebase Storage, just skip this part and move forward. Border 2. Okay, max width of small screen, and to center it MX auto, padding of 2. How does that look? Yeah, that's good. So form will be a flex call and spacing in the y-axis of 3. Okay, that looks good, much better. Then let's center this also, and font of bold. Okay, nice. Class name, this will be flex, then MX auto. Fine. And item center. Let me know in the comment section below whether you like me building the UI or not. If you don't like it, I'll just skip forward to the actual implementation. Okay, so this will, we need a cursor pointer for this. Cursor pointer. Okay. That's it for the UI. Okay, so now let's build the functionalities. So the first thing we'll do is, if I click this, that pop-up should appear, right? So for that, what we'll do is we'll create a reference first. Let's call it input file use ref. Okay, and initially it will be null. So since I'm using Typescript, I'll have to mention the types as well. So this will be going HTML input element. So we'll create another input field here. This will be hidden, and this will be first, it will be type file hidden, and we give a reference to the one we just created, input file. Have I misspelled it? Okay, file. Actually, let's call it input ref. That's much better. Let's follow the standards. Okay, good. And so this should appear, the pop-up should appear only when we click it. For that, only when we click this icon, it should appear. So we'll go with, what was it again? Input ref dot input ref dot current dot click. So whenever this is clicked, now it should trigger this one. Let's try. Okay, it works. Okay, so now next what we'll do is, let's create a state for tracking the title. State snippet, title, set title, empty string. Let's import useState. Okay, so that's here. On change, let me set title. No, sorry, there's only one bracket here. Set title e dot target dot value. Okay, and the value will be title. Okay, that works fine. So now let's create a function for basically, okay, we'll need another one. When I showed you the demo, there was a preview, right? So for that, again, you need another state. Let's call it preview string. So that should appear here. Just okay, yeah, here. I think yeah, it was here. So, yeah, let's build this later. First, I'll show you how to get the URL. So for that, create a function for getting the URL. So that will be done like so. On change, let's call it showImagePreview. Copy this and I'll create it here. Const create. Don't need that. Okay, that's good. This will be event change event HTML input element. Where is that? Input element. Okay. If you want to get the type, if you're using Typescript, what you do is you just go here, E, and if you do this, you'll get the type. See here. If you are using Typescript, that's an easy way to get the type definitions. So next, once it's clicked, call const file new, not new, e dot target dot files and the first element. This will be option. Okay, here as well. There should be one more, I think. Yep, that's working. So let's just see what is there inside the file. Okay, I'll open the DevTools. I click this, the first image, and yeah, so this is the file which is being sent, and I'm logging it out. You can see this. So we'll have to extract the URL from this. So for that, what you'll need is to you'll have to create a new object called reader from new file reader. Okay, then if the file is there, the file exists, then the reader will read the data as URL file. Okay, then reader dot onload, this is a inbuilt function. With this we can extract, we can get the URL. So set preview e dot target dot result. Okay, this will be optional. Fine. Now if I console log the preview, let's see what we get. What is the problem here? This is still the problem. E dot target dot result. Let's see. Okay, you'll have to define the types for preview as well. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. With this Typescript can understand. Okay, now there's no issue. If I go down and click an image, open it, empty string. Okay, I'll try again. Yeah, now I'm getting. Okay, so now that we have a URL saved in a preview state, let's make a preview here. The image should appear here. Like once we click this, the image should come up here, the preview. So for that, let's go down here under this H1. If the preview is there, only if it is there, then I want you to render an image out. So the source is preview as string. Okay, fine. Now it's come up here. Yeah, just refresh it so that you can see. It's taking some time. Okay, good. Click this, click the first image, open. Yeah, now we have our preview. Now let's create a function for the Firebase. So when I click this, it should get uploaded to Firebase Storage. So for that, let's start by making a call here on submit to Firebase. Let's create a function const submit to Firebase. This will be an async function. Need an event. I have to take an event. It will be of type React HTML form or factory. Not HTML form, should be form event. HTML form element. So again, if you want the definition for this, what you do is you go here, type in E and just hover, you'll get the type here. Just copy this and paste it out here. So next is you have to prevent the page from refreshing, so prevent default. So now the first thing which we do is let me go to the docs. Let me show you from where I got this. So if I go to the Firebase docs, just type in storage here, and the first link, yeah, this one. So if you go down here to web, create reference and scroll down, you get all these codes. So that is from where I'm getting it from. So the first thing which we do here is we create a reference for the image. So we call a reference from Firebase. We call the storage, and we give it a path. So in our case, it will be, we'll say thumbnails, and I'll give a title as well. So the image will get stored in this location. So now what we do is we call a string called upload string, image reference to that, preview as string, this is the URL, and save it as data URL. After this, what we do is then snapshot, it's just a snapshot. So from here we get the URL, get download URL, yes, of image ref. After this, and this is quite long, this is for saving it in our Firestore, not storage but Firestore database. Async URL, so that we can access it, so that we can actually call those images here. So with the URL, what I will do is add a document, make a collection DB database. We'll call the collection as images, and then let's create some fields. So title, we'll have a title, and URL image. I think image URL will be better. Image URL will be URL. One getting error, it's because of this. Okay, and also we'll create a server timestamp. So this will, while making the call, we can call the images in a descending order. So for that we'll use an inbuilt Firebase function called server timestamp, and yeah, it's done. So once this is done, let's console log out the image save, okay, ref, and say that it has been added. Then we'll set preview to nothing, null, and set title to nothing. Now let's check whether this is working. I'll click this, select an image, open, give a title, dark mode, and upload. Okay, it's been uploaded. Let's go to Firebase and check whether it is there or not. So let me refresh this. If everything worked correctly, should, okay, it's created a thumbnails and the title, dark mode. Yeah, it's here. Now let's go to a Firestore and check whether it's the URL is available. If everything is correct, there should be a collection here called images. Okay, ID and the image URL. Okay, that part is working. Beautiful. So next we'll be creating a component for rendering out the images here. So that component will be responsible for fetching the data from here. So let's create the component called thumbnails thumbnails.tsx rafc, that's rafc. Save that, go to index, import it here, save it, Okay, it's here. So for now I don't need this. Go here, thumbnails. Okay. So first we'll start off by creating a state for storing the data which will be coming from Firebase. Ports use state. Next I'll create a use effect. This will be responsible for calling the data. So let's create a query first. Query from collection database images. We'll also order it. So this is why we created the server time, so that we can fetch the data in descending order. DESC. Okay, we'll have to import collection DB. There's a mistake which I've done. Okay, here. Cool, that's good. Next we'll create the unsubscribe. So on snapshot, call the query snapshot. So here we will set the thumbnails dot docs dot map. So each docs doc, I'll do an implicit return here. So bracket, curly bracket, enter. Then I'll spread the data and get the ID. I'll set the ID as doc.id. So there are different ways of doing this. So it's giving me an error because okay, let's see what the error is. Map doc. Okay, this is because of this. Yeah, now it should work. Another bracket. There's a bracket missing somewhere. Okay. Okay, now it's correct. Fine. So there are many ways of doing this. I want to get the ID as well. That's why I'm reconstructing the data as so. I'm spreading it and I'm adding an ID to each of the data. That's what I'm doing here. So let's create a type for this. So type will be thumbnail, call it NAI. So this will let me just check how the data will appear as image URL server time title. Okay, image URL string server time and title. Oops. Title string. We'll also have an ID as well. So string. Okay. So this Emmett today is not with me. So thumb will be here. So we have type thumbnail. An array of thumbnails, and this is thumbnail and array. Good. Now we'll have to set the dependencies. So in this case, the dependencies are just the database and also we'll have to unsubscribe, so that should be done here. So return unsub. Okay. And let's just console log out the thumbnails and see whether we're getting the data. Let's go back here, open DevTools, and yeah, we're getting the data here. That's good. Now let's just render it out. So div, inside the div, we map through thumbnails dot map thumbnail, and return this div img. Source will be thumbnail dot image URL. We also need the title. Title. Okay, so this will be a grid. She'll have a gap of 2. Should be having width of 100%. The H1 will be Excel, of font bold, and we'll also capitalize it. Okay, if we go back here, let's create a div, class name max, width of Excel, mx auto for centering. Save it. Yeah, now it's working. Now let's just check whether everything works. So I'll just open my DevTools. Okay, this should be because of the ID. Yeah, key. So I'll just put the key as well. Key is equal to thumbnail dot ID. This helps React know what to render, what changes are being made. So this is very important. So now let's just check whether everything works. I'll click the YouTube icon. Okay, pop-up works. I'll click this, open. Okay, the preview works. I'll give a title, thumbnail 2. Click upload, and it should come up here. Okay, yeah, it comes up here. Let's check Firebase. Okay, there are 2 documents, thumbnail 2. Let's check storage. There should be 2 files, dark mode, okay, and thumbnail 2. Fine, both are working. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching.